What? There we go. Okay. Let me get the link for this. What's he saying? There we go. Get the new link.
Nice early start. Look at us.
Yep. Oh shit. Hey, let's Hey, welcome, Grim. You're first again. Seems to be a trend. The chat over a bit so I can actually see. There we go. We'll give like 5 minutes for people to hop in.
Sounds good.
Hello, Dashing. Yes, best of. What? 1 second. YouTube is not. 1 second. What the fuck? What are you saying? YouTube is not recording?
Man, I hate YouTube.
What the hell is going on here? Something. What the hell is this thing? Okay. I'm just gonna make a new stream. I guess. Or is it? Wait, is it the same? 1 second. Is this a new stream? I think it's a new stream. I hope so. No, I have no idea what's going on here. Maybe it's the same stream. Okay.
What's happening exactly?
It's not. What the fuck? Record is the question. It is not. Wait, I don't think it recorded last time. I think we're fine. Hopefully, I'm worried. I think we'll be fine. I'll do.
See.
Okay, hello everyone. Hopefully it works this time because I don't know what's going on with it, but hopefully it works now.
Let's hope.
Yeah, welcome, Matt. I don't know what happens. I guess I'll have to see if I need to delete. Whatever, I'll figure it out later. And by later, I mean tomorrow. Let's give a few minutes for people to start getting in again. We'll start at like 9:50, I guess.
Sounds good.
I'm paying again. I don't care.
Let's go. Is the screen share for the PowerPoint working?
Oh, it should be. Is it not?
Not streaming on my end.
Because I left the call because my mic cut out. That's why.
Okay.
That should be
awesome.
better.
Thank you.
Yep.
Watch stream. There we go.
Cool. Okay.
Sweet. It's not even the end of the world. I can always just like watch the stream and then like mute it, but this is a little less laggy.
Yeah, it's better. We'll give it until 9:50, then we'll get going.
Sounds good.
Yep. Welcome, people. Oh, let me get my notes out. That might be
Welcome everyone.
No, Zane, you are not getting this fucking call.
Not until that check arrives, Zane.
Exactly. Send me some money and maybe you can get in.
We can be private, but let's go through.
Yeah, maybe when we were on your team, we'll let you pop in to say a sentence. Maybe. Unlikely, but maybe.
Anything's possible.
This team was just Articuno. God damn, that would be funny.
Okay, I am gonna open. I am gonna open the stream in a tab, but I will mute it. Hopefully that doesn't make anything too laggy. I don't think it will because I want to actually be like.
Yeah, you just want to see the chat.
Yeah, I just want to see the chat.
That's fair, yeah.
See, I'm used to having things like this team loses to Articuno, you know?
True.
All right, 2 minutes, everyone. Should we talk about our feelings in the meantime?
Yes, let's talk about our feelings. So I'm joking. What the fuck? So recently I may have killed. No, I'm kidding. What the fuck?
I said Felix not keeping confessions.
Yeah. Feeling happy because I get steal soup. Yeah, that's good, Graham. Oh wait, Graham, you're UK, right? So it's like 2 a.m. for you. I am so sorry.
Imagine if we did do it at 10:30 for poor Graham.
I don't know why you're still awake, but whatever.
Who needs to watch PRs at 3 in the morning?
Hello, Croc.
Hello, Croc.
You're not last, you'll be happy? Well, we will find out.
Thank you for keeping me last, Croc.
Playing the hit game Marvel Rivals.
This stream is sponsored by Marvel Rivals.
This game is sponsored by No, that was really...
How do we get BPL sponsored by like some of these like I think like either Raycon, you know, Raid Shadow Legends.
This stream is sponsored by Nestle. It's not actually, but I just had some chocolate chip cookies from them and they were really fucking good.
Nice.
And with that note, let's get started with number 16.
Thank you, Croc. I appreciate it. Listen, Fair and Resist are, you know, they come and go. I'm not gonna say defense.
Sneasel Rillaboom is forever. Anyway, we'll start with Lord of the Acorn. So he called himself getting 16th on both. He did not. He got lowest on me and second lowest on you. So I guess we can get started on Acorn's team.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I do feel a little bad, but
so I think. Do you want me to take to get started on this one?
let's get started. There's a round free Politoed.
Correct.
And there are no rain abusers. That's, I guess, kind of Torn and Fundy.
And then, you know, if you squint, Volcarona.
And then your only removal is, hey DJS, is a defog on the Cleaver, which wants to be setting up rocks, which means your Torn, if he ever gets knocked, is gonna cry. Same with your Fundy. If your Volcarona loses boots, oh, you're fucked. Goodra does get Hydro Transfer. I will say this game, but there are 3 points of rain, which I feel like is enough. Like, you should have been able to upgrade something.
Yeah, I think for me, okay, so I feel like I say this every time we do PRs, but I thought that the drafts for Sardonyx were quite good across the board. For me, the lowest tier ones, I didn't think were like bad, but they have this thing that I've seen in drafts sometimes where it's like they're just kind of assortments of unrelated good shit. You know what I mean? And I think this is kind of that for me, where it's like there are good pieces on this team that I feel like just don't really go together. You know what I mean? Like the sheer like lack of rain like abusers combined with the round 3 Politoed, which I think kind of hurt a lot of what you could get later on. I'm kind of just not seeing the vision. Like, this team is kind of like gearing up to be bulky rain offense, but then you have 3 like of the biggest momentum sinks in the game.
Yeah, and also Cress trying to moonlight in rain is gonna be very sad.
Yeah.
Like, I know, I'm sorry, I'll just be honest. I don't think this team is good at all. I think, you have, like, 3 good pieces, which is Urshifu, Tornadus, Thundurus, and then the rest kind of is just there. And you have to bring 6 Pokemon to a
There's a
battle.
really good, yeah, there's a very good hazard game, but I think a rapid spin would have gone a long way here because like the team is also like you said pretty hazard weak, so it's like a weird mix where it's like you want to get your hazards up because that's kind of the only potential of breaking here because it's not a rain abuser, but if you have to defog, then you're getting rid of your own hazards. Like I think there's just kind of a little bit of anti synergy.
I agree on that for sure. I know,
Now that
like,
being said, Spore into Volcarona is at the end of the day Spore into Volcarona. And I fucking hate Volcarona. So, screens in Volcarona. So, there's like stuff, but
yeah, it's it's fine. Like, it's I think the worst team division. I don't think it's that close, except for one other, but it's fine. Like, it's usable, maybe. I hope Acorn does well with it, but I'm not getting my fingers crossed.
I'm looking for them. I mean, like at the end of the day, I think this team does have like 2 of the biggest bullshit mons of all time in Single Strike and Volk. Like
That's
sometimes you just lose to those guys because they're just like that. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I'm just not really seeing the synergy.
I'm not
here.
either. Like, it's kind of rain, kind of not. I just don't think it holds up. I think I don't even know what you changed to fix this.
I feel like this one kind of being Wi-Fi is kind of what hurts it the most because if this was Naddex, like you have so many defoggers.
There's nothing on the
just
fucking board left. It's so dead. The board is so dried up.
Drained.
It really is.
But yeah, just not a lot of synergy. Just removal in Naddex. So true. So true.
Hey H12, welcome, and you're not wrong. This was 6 months in Gen 5, but you go foolish there. Oh my god. But anyway, let's get on to number 15, which is Iron Man, the other team we had really low. So I didn't have this at the absolute bottom, you did. I still don't think it's very good though. Let me pull up my notes on this one. Yeah, go for it.
My thing with this one, yeah, so thank you. My thing with this one was like I said, so I feel like this one and the previous team have the same thing again. It's just kind of like a combination of like good Pokemon that don't really mesh. And to be honest, I think the good Pokemon haphazardly placed on the previous team were better than this one.
I can see
and
that.
that's kind of where I am. Yeah, I do. I'm Zane. I gotta be honest. I'm with you on that one. I'm a huge Alecki hater.
And you don't even have, like, what are you killing the grounds with? Manaphy, Decidueye? Neither of those are, like, the best at that. Like, they're okay, but...
Yeah. I mean, like... I kind of don't see the vision with this one. Like, even with the previous team, like I said, I can see kind of the potential for like
their team had like a concept
like
going. Their team had like a concept going for it.
Yeah, in theory, I see like the screen support and spore support into Volt, or like the hazard breaking plus like the accurate thunder and hurricane like into Urshifu. I kind of just don't see how this one's supposed to function.
Also, a note, because Alecki does not count because it's terrible, this team is slow as balls. Like, what the fuck? Like, your only fast mouse on Alecki is Screamtail. Screamtail does not frame things, it just clicks Encore, which, to be fair, is very good. But, like...
Listen, I am a huge Screamtail fan. I love that thing. However, the fastest Pokemon in this team that actually is capable of, like, applying damage to the opposing team is Landorus, who's 101.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say something I've noticed is, like, outside the Ment, I guess the Ment's Air Girls, but this team's really special offense. I think things like Sing with AVs are just gonna kind of sit on a lot of this team, which isn't ideal. And I guess you're not, like, Inouye and Muck, which is okay.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I feel
Also,
like it's just hard to like make progress here. Because I think with Terrapagos, you want you want like really strong wall breakers across the board, and obviously Landis like does that to, like on one side, but not like you said. I think AV users wall this pretty hard. Like your kind of special presence, your physical presence, kind of Heracross mostly,
yeah,
which
and
is
Zane, you
not
were just
great.
touching on my next point there. The spiker is Heracross, which really does not want to click spikes. Like, he has much better things to do. It does gate Zane, but he has better things to do with its time. Um, I will say, I just feel like the
Yeah,
overall Mon quality on this team is low, which is not ideal. There's nothing on this team
yeah,
that
I
I
agree.
see and I'm like, oh fuck, what am I going to do? Except maybe Terrapagos in certain matchups, but nothing on this team I see. I'm like, oh god, what? How do I answer this? There's nothing like that. Heatran is also
Yeah, I
super
agree.
pressured on this team. Like, oh my god, this team is so reliant on Heatran to not fall apart.
Yeah, even just like we're on the low and muck to an extent too. I don't know. I just kind of think I'm not really seeing the vision for how you like just get things out of the way with this team.
Yeah,
I feel like this five Pokemon on it that are of a caliber that I think like you kind of want to draft to have like maybe like one or two of.
I agree with that. Yeah, the bomb five, like they're okay. Manphy's not a terrible mon. Like getting it late's kind of nice, but it's definitely falling off. Guard by Kindness, you were saying with momentum, like the Lando and Screamtail having among your top, and then you do have Abor, then the bomb like the Decidueye Manphy. But yeah, I know it's just this team just I don't know how to describe it. It's so underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing I can kind of say here is the hazard control is pretty solid, but I don't know. I think kind of your like it almost feels like your best bet here is like just trying to like maybe spam setup at the beginning, hopefully clear the ground type and try to swoop with a Lecky. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Well, Graham, the thing is like Pecos Land was a really good start. It's kind of after that
It kind of
that
fell
I
off.
feel like things kind of fall. Those two, that's like you're like, oh damn, like we're off to a good start here.
Yeah. As with that, we can move on to number 14, which is
Indeed.
Horizon, who I don't have 14 through 11. So neither of us had this super high. Um, I guess to start off,
Yeah, slight disappointment in this one, but not too bad.
I mean the Mon quality here as well. Let's be straight up. Like Bax works with Glow King, but outside of Snow, it kind of sucks. Crook is fine. Scissor is fine. The rest of the Mons are mostly bad. Mindshell's good though. I like Mindshell.
I do like Mitchell a lot. It's my main thing holding me back with this one is it's so offensive, and like, which isn't a bad thing. Except I feel like the quality of the mons is, like you said, not that high. So
Exactly.
it's like you kind of can't take a hit other than like you can run like defensive slithering sets, but like let's be real, for the most part, it's mostly on the special side. You have, and then it's like other than that, you just have to out offense your opponent, and the offense is just not that great as a whole. It does have fun stuff. I agree.
Yeah, what
There's some
DJS
mods
was
here that
saying, there's no round one pick on this team, which is really rough. There's no round one pick.
yes, agree. The
And
thing for me, sorry, go ahead.
I was to say I do agree with Zayna. It's kind of fun, but I mean, on everything I noticed, Crook is your only rocker. It's a good rocker. Don't get me wrong, but like, there's if you ever want to run an offensive set, you're kind of shit out of luck.
Yeah, so kind of the thing that kept this because I think I have this one that I'm kind of saying. Kind of the thing that has this one at the place where it is for me is not as much like the draft itself, but specifically when I was looking at the matchups of the team into each other. Even though I team has a lot, yeah, even though I think this team, looking at it by itself, has a lot of objective flaws, I was looking through the matchup chart, and man, weirdly enough, there are a lot of like Sardonyx drafted a lot of teams that are like extremely baxable, and like I agree completely that Bax is like not a round one pick, but I think for anything else you can say with this team, it does like support Bax very well. Like
That's
obviously you
true.
have the Glow King, and then the scissor pick, even like the Mienshao to an extent. I just think like, and then you have like a lot of good release pressure steals with this team. I just think it like Bax just happens to be like really good in this division. Like, just like I'm just like looking through the draft page
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. There's just a lot of teams that are like very Baxable. So I think for that reason, I honestly think this has a lot of potential, but it's kind of a contextual thing more than
It's also,
like
but
looking at the draft on its own.
on that note, it's
Probably
gonna
a
be
bit
really
lower.
reliant on backs to do its thing. I will say
100%.
something that again 3 points remaining. Like you can definitely just upgrade something. Like there's no reason to have that many points left.
Yeah, agreed.
Also like something that's kind of weird that I took note of. It's like I sometimes talk about this on PRs. I don't mention that much, but lack of what I call anti-bullshit measures. Like your only real encore is Garvar. You're very well phasing, very little, not a ton of great fast taunt. This team is very prone to getting set up on with stuff. And like even though you have offense,
That's a great point.
that's a fair point,
You
Horizon.
kind
There is
of
like nothing on the board. That's true.
Yeah, true. No, but I actually fully agree with you on that. You're kind of fully dependent. Like the anti-bulger is like priority, and that only works against getting a
Yeah.
strategy on Gorgias, but that only works against getting offensively swept. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Acorn, I will say when you say no fire is interesting. Personally, I think fire is just a bad type, and so like unless you're getting a good fire, it's not worth wasting your time to get one. So like I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't
not
agree
having a
with that.
fire is really a nick. I didn't even like mention that in my rankings. However, I will say there
I
are
think
fires. Opposing fires are a fucking problem.
yes, that is extremely correct. You're fired. Now, granted, again, leaning on like the backs dependency, backs even though it does discourage you clicking, yeah, like Inteleon does not count. So you're kind of hoping that they have a special attacking fire type. It's Glow King can just walk like sheer bulk. But yeah, I will say hilariously, in terms of like offense and kind of utility, Slitherwing like can sort of function as a fire type. But for real, no, I think that's like maybe the biggest knock, like extremely fire weak.
It's just you were saying fires are bait for backs, but like I know it doesn't. It gets too KO'd by a lot of them still. I guess like if you're running a scarf setting, you get the +1 boost. It's really scary, but I don't know. I don't think it even frames most of the map. So a lot of them are faster than 87 anyway.
Yeah, fully agreed. Like, I don't know. That's almost like, yeah, that's a good point. You almost have to be in the position where you have back ready, and like they go for a fire move that doesn't kill you as you like scale shot or like SD, I guess if they're like an ice shard. No, that's a
Yeah, so kind of I think the takeaway here is just this team is backs or die. Like it's do or die on backs.
yeah.
That's what matters. Yeah, and, Orazon did get sniped a lot, although a lot of people in this got sniped a lot, including me. So it happens, and
I
16-man PDEX is always hard. So hopefully backs can get you some wins, though. I hope.
I feel your pain on that. And I had the entire like Nat decks to work with, so snipes and PDX are way harder.
They saw me crash out multiple times in mod chat, so they can confirm.
Upgrade Juggles. Yeah, Juggulus is like the biggest disappointment of all. That man has never done anything. Like you look at it and it feels like it has so much potential, and then it never accomplishes anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's Grim, you're right. I should just get good. So let's move on to number 13, which is Teriso. I had this team in the middle. You had kind of lower, but neither of us had like super high anyway. I guess I'll go first on why I like this team more than like you'd. Meow, Ape,
Yes.
Necro, Keldeo like is pretty good offense. Gomorrah, Annihilate is a try and true combo. I made finals in WPF for that. It's really good to spin block with it. Moltres are spin deterrent, which is nice. The screens with Grimmsnarl are really good support for an Eye of Necro or even like a Calm Mind Keldeo. Hacks is a really nice physical breaker, which you kind of want because now it opens up Meow to be in a more queening role, which it really likes.
True.
However, my first note is this deal is dog shit.
Yeah. I do agree with that. Again, I think for the most part, again, I thought most of the drafts in this division were like quite functional. My thing with this one is it kind of I just feel like this has so, to a lesser extent, but I feel like this has so little defensive backbone, especially on the special end, and the offense is not good enough to overcome it. I think Meow is good. I don't think I'm as high in Meow as good.
I'm really
not
high
like
on Meow.
a world breaker, and I think Annihilate is great, but Annihilate, like, that amount is too dependent on things going right to be a world breaker for it to like kind of justify the lack of defensive back here. Like, especially you're kind of dependent on like the Dunsparce, the Krozma, like kind of Moltres, but if you can't burn them, that's a struggle. Yeah. And then physically, like,
I do agree, fairies are kind of annoying if they like as Gareth says, if they can punch past Moltres. Also, Glamour is your one bird check, which is like not ideal. Like, Torn into this team is nasty.
Torn goes crazy, right? I feel like that was another thing for me. I think this has like a lot of more bad matchups into specific types than you should. Like, I feel like this team is so electricable.
Electric, ground, I mean, your ground resists a Moltres, and that dies to a rock slide. Well, it doesn't die, it's too fat, but it gets to a kid. Your water switch-ins are Keldeo and Meowscarada. Like, Palafin eats this team alive. Are you kidding me?
Here, there's like weirdly a lot that Moltres is holding together. Like,
Moltres is a really important glue here.
Like, yeah, and I don't think Moltres to be like the backbone exactly, especially because like it's extremely knockable.
And yeah, DJS is very right. Zapdos does 6-0 this. The ground type is a Sandaconda in standard. Like, I like Sandaconda in LTM right now, but in standard, oh my god, it's not it.
Yeah, Zapdos goes kind of sicko mode here, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think this team just has also really big holes defensively.
Yeah, agreed. And I think also it's a little tough to be like this dependent on Moltres and like have a move like this. Fortress is just hard to bring. It's just like not a great Pokemon. I really like Glamora, but Glamora is very hard to spin with.
That's true.
That is another good point. Yeah, I think screens are kind of big here, and it's but again, it's like debatable. Like, your biggest screens payoffs here are not Annihilate and Necrozma, are really good, but again, like
they both have their flaws. Yeah,
like a high tier like breaker for me.
I mean, I think Keldeo Haxorus are pretty good breakers, but that's just me.
That's fair. They're solid.
Like, I don't think breaking potential is the problem here between Meow, Keldeo, Haxorus, and maybe even like a Meteor Beam, Glamora. I think the breaking's fine. I think the problem is like this team is gonna be like need to win pretty quickly. I think because it doesn't really win long term.
Yeah, there's not a lot in the back. I do really like the Dunsparce pick here. I'll be honest.
The Dunsparce is really nice here.
I like Glare spam for this team a lot.
I do too.
Because I feel like there are almost some matchups here where, like, with Glare spam plus Grim, you can almost get away with like 4 attacks Meteor Beam Glim in some matchups. But that's too in depth. It is that guy. I agree.
Dunsparce is the guy. Yeah, I mean, I see lines with this team, but I mean, Teresa's a very good player. I'm sure he can execute it well, but I know it.
Yeah,
it has some holes that are really easy to abuse.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like the priority though. Good priority.
That's true. Let's get on to number 12 then, which we have Matt, who I had done 12. You had up in 8th. So why don't you go into it first?
Sounds good to me. So here's the thing. I think for me, this is kind of just the kind of thing that I just love. this is more dependent on Pincurchin than the team probably should be, yes. However, I think, maybe hot take, I think this is very functional without Pincurchin. Um, Honestly, I think the bigger issue than that is the massive ice weakness. Like, it's very dependent on heat and Araquanid
That's true.
down. But, like, I don't know. I think the offensive potential here is really good. I think you have Pokemon that can run sets that you can this can function without Pincurchin. And I think because you've just like spammed so many electric Terraimons up. Like I think this has. I think honestly, Pincurchin kind of becomes not a bad bring here. He has to win quickly, but I think you have the potential to do that. I like Shadow Boulder a lot. I think Boulder genuinely has like. I think it's a good round one, but I think it's a little on.
I'll be right back. Sorry about that. The audio was glitching.
Gotcha. Okay. Dang it. I died. Yeah. My audio is coming through and.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. I will say yeah.
Sorry. One final thing. I'm not really seeing the vision with Webs, but I think Araquanid is good enough outside of that and does serve an important defensive function here that I kind of see the vision. But yeah, that's my thoughts. What do you think?
I don't know, man. It's a meme team, but I don't think it's executed that well. Like, I'm sorry, but also like Treads feel super pressured here too. Which is weird to say, but Treads feel super pressured here, and it's not a mon that you want to be pressured. Like this team is okay hyper offensive. We have like Bolt. Like Rising Voltage Bolt is gonna be really tough to switch into. Lucha's okay, but I don't know. I just don't think the offense is there. Like, sure the mons are okay, but like none of them are like terrifying me.
Yeah, that's fair. It is. The fairy weakness is pretty real.
This is another team without round one mon. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Boulder's a round one pick.
I don't think Boulder's a round 5 pick. I'll be blunt.
That's fair. I think that what the gimmick here is solid enough that this can just like bowl over some matchups. But objectively, quite flawed.
I know. I just don't see it. I just can't see how this team wins if it doesn't win in like the first 15 turns. And that's not going to be the easiest thing to do.
That is fair. I think you're a little bit dependent on getting in and like sweeping off the bat. A little bit of like potentially with a Calm Mind Bolt, Calm Mind Prim, but yeah, no, I see definitely.
Yeah, I just
we win this fight indeed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I honestly consider ranking it lower, but there were teams that I thought were worse somehow. But yeah, I just did not like this at all. Sorry, Matt. I hope you do okay with it, but I really was not a fan of this.
I'm rooting for this team. I am this team's biggest supporter, but also, yeah, you're very correct. This is maybe the most rock team.
Very true. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to number 11, which is Chelsea.
11.
So a bit higher than she predicted. I had her up in 7th. You had her down in 12th. So I guess I'll go first. Let me pull up. I'm a pretty big fan of this team. Let me get into it. I think, as we saw in a previous video, Hisui and Samart Kirim's a really good combination. Because, Kirim just needs a little bit of spike support to really break everything down. I think Lando fits... Every monitor just fits so well. Like, you have great hazards. You have a solid removal. You have pretty good backbone, pretty good offense. My one thing is I do wish you had elite speed not named Electrode, because it's not a real mon. At least base Electrode isn't.
Yeah, with no hidden power, Electrode not a real Pokemon.
I love the top 9. I've become a big Serena fan recently. I've used it. I've really enjoyed it. Volcanion is the GOAT. Hisuian Zoroark, I think, pairs pretty well with, you name here. I don't know if this team needs snow. Kieran likes snow, but doesn't need it. Like, it's not like Bax where I think it literally needs snow to function.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're kind of throwing if you don't get backs with Kings.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't have much to say here. I just think it's really solid. I think there's better teams, but I think it's really well constructed. I think every Pokemon serves multiple roles, really, which is really nice. Except, like, Giwis, but is a Giwis. Everything else kind of serves multiple purposes. Yeah. I think your top 9, all of them are bringable every week. I think this should be really hard to prep for.
I kind of look at this team and like it's solid across the board. I just kind of don't really see like the threat level. Kyurem is good, but I think being it's either a not elite speed wall breaker or a pretty good setup sweeper, but not, you're dependent on like dice. Now granted, you do have good removal, but I'm kind of just not like, I feel like there are a lot of people that you have to be able to handle, but there's really nothing that makes me feel like this is the thing that I have to cover.
Say the line, Bart. There's no round 1 pick.
Yeah,
we've said that line a lot in this stream, but yeah.
Yeah, that has.
Wait, it's instantly electro. Did I type the doc wrong? What the fuck is wrong? Wait, what? No, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, it was. Holy shit, I'm an idiot. Okay, that makes this a little better. What the fuck was I doing when I did this? Okay, I may be stupid and typed in the prep doc wrong when I was rating this.
Huh. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, I mean, I don't think it changes that much. Like, it gives you elite speed, but it's still not a great mon, but I am sorry, Chelsea. I can't believe I screwed that up. Before I release the slides at the end, I'll fix that. I'm sorry, yeah, that was my mistake, but I still don't think it really changes much. Like, long term.
No, great.
Like, sure, you have a slightly better elite speed mon, but it's still not a great one.
I really don't have a ton to say about this one either. It's solid. I see the synergy. I do like Zora work with Samrock quite a bit. There's good. Everything like fills multiple roles. I just don't really see like the oomph, which
yeah, I kind of
yes,
agree with that. Like, outside with Kyurem Enam, there's not a ton of breaking. Yeah, I guess Volk, but
yeah, agreed. And then I always find the Nam like it's good. It's objectively a good Pokemon. I find a bit of an underperformer, but pretty good. This one for me was a case where I dislike here. I was just like a little bit whelmed, and I just kind of like everything that I ranked above it.
No, Croc, Kyurem is not a round 1 pick anymore. I don't even know if it's a round 2 pick anymore.
Kyurem is weird, because I feel like you can say the same thing about in draft that you can in like OU, which is that like it's simultaneously kind of bullshit good, but also like it just provides so little outside of like its breaking, really hard to justify. It's a weird.
Kyurem's the epitome of a luxury pick.
That's fair.
But yeah,
like it's 2 types you don't really need.
I think the team's pretty solid though, like overall. Even if it's like bottom of the middle, I think it's fine. I guess we'll move on to the top 10, starting with myself. I'll let you talk about this team
Number
first.
10. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to say anything about your own draft. But I can take over for this one. Let me just wait for it to pop on screen. There we go, perfect. So I know that you had a lot of snipes, which are unfortunate, and you see the impact of that. I know you had to take. I know you had to take non-Terrazor.
I'm not happy about that.
Is.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I still think this turned out pretty solid. I think this is like a really, really good webs abusing team, because that opens up like options for most of these Pokemon that I don't think would otherwise be possible. I think you might complete the Cron challenge with Enamorous.
Gareth, I will say I also hate Enamorous Fairy and Gareth. I also despise this figure. I'm not happy I have it. You can continue now.
Yeah, the impacts of the snipes were all kind of present. I think ultimately, what does it for me with your draft is looking at the top. You have such good customizable support with Ogrepon, and then two incredibly hard wall breakers and sweepers, and that's kind of what really cements it for me. I think the biggest problem is honestly less anything to do with this. I wish we had removal because you have two like kind of best Pokemon. Because I would say Gountry Fire and Ogrepon are better than Perilous Blood Moon. I really like Perilous better. They both hazards not on the field, and I think Tentacruel is pretty pressured there. That's genuinely my biggest problem. I think you're almost a little bit like strong armed. Um, Go for it. I think you're almost a little bit strong armed into like going with lead Deoxys speed and like.
That's a big thing. Cobalion being the only air rocker is really bad.
Yes, that's another thing. I think Cobalion is honestly quite good, but you don't want to have to.
I don't want to have to bring Cobalion every week,
Yes, 100%. I will also say on that note, you do kind of fair week. Tentacruel tends to be a good fair.
Like to fair, I agree on physical ones. Like Valiant kind of fucks me really badly.
Yeah, Valiant.
Oh wait, Valiant was banned. Valiant was banned. I forgot we banned Valiant. Never mind. Forgot we banned that thing. Anyway, but yeah.
There's also like really limited priority, which I think is
I noticed that.
Kind
of like Vacuum Wave.
Yeah, like
Vacuum Wave, Blood Moon, Vacuum Wave, Cobalion.
Extreme
that's
Speed.
It. What? Oh yeah, Speed Dio is something I have run a couple times. I don't think it's good, but it comes up.
My basic thing with your draft and like why I put it in ninth is I think there are clear holes here, but I see the like game plan of what you can do with it, and you have like two. I think with like the sticky web mode and like the setup spam, distinct game plans. Yeah. So I think even though there are pretty big holes, I think the dual mode function of it is good enough that I think it's solid.
He really did take that Gambit. I was so mad about that one. Zane, I have been so busy ranking 112 fucking teams I haven't built for you yet, so I don't know what I've had the most fun building. Because I've been ranking 112 drafts. It's taking forever. Austin, you have Austin, Zane Freed, you have not been listed yet. We'll get to you later at some point. I don't remember what spot you are.
Secret 17th.
Yeah, for what it's worth, when I was ranking my own team, if I had included, I would put myself at 10th. So I think there's a fine spot. Like I put myself as 10th on my ranking. Like if I theoretically did it. So I think this is a fine spot.
Indeed it is.
Hey, that's it for my dog shit team. Let's move on to number 9, which is Jean-Paul. There's a team.
Jean-Paul.
There's a team that exists.
One of the teams of all time.
Scarm is that. I don't hate Scarm, Gareth. I just really did not think it fit on the team. I wanted the team to have the momentum of Cobalion. I think Scarm is fine. I just on my team, I don't think it fit what I need. Yeah, Sand/Slash Cheetar is very funny.
So funny.
I mean,
so I'm kind of here.
It's mostly good mons outside the Sand/Slash.
Yeah.
Like, you have decent offense. You have okay bulk. I don't know. I'm also kind of tired of bringing out things to say because I've done so many of these today. But I really like this scene.
I gotcha.
Let me find one thing I did notice is no ground poison is kind of annoying when like stuff like Wellspring is item locked. And Chomp doesn't roll wall button.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think for me, like the spam ability of Boots Cinderace like kind of makes up for that a little bit. But yeah, I see. I think for me, this team is like it kind of has what I keep like talking about with just the collection of good mons, but I'm seeing the synergy more here. I like that there's a lot of variety in roles. I really like the secondary. I feel I don't see that often, and I think Overcome Wellspring is great, but I think you do want a second like real water to go alongside of it. I like Tink here a lot because there's a lot of blanket walls in this team, but they're like really good ones. Yeah, agreed. Okay, yeah, definitely very weak. I mean, you have not Protean, Libero going with Cinderace, but yeah, I think this team has, like I said, it has a lot of blanket checks on it, but they're like the good blanket checks.
I agree.
They're the ones that like you actually can just kind of tech in anything, you know. I like hands a lot. I wish this team was less kind of my main.
Oh, and say I cannot hear you anymore.
You're a little dependent.
We're good now. We're good now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, sweet. I wish this was less ground weak. You're a little dependent on Overprong, who don't want to be taking like Earthquake, and Braviary, who have such mixed opinions on Braviary. Half of me is like, I know.
Sorry about that, guys. I just unplugged my headphones. I forgot it would echo. So sorry about Tech Guy echoing for a second. I forgot. I unplugged my headphones like an idiot. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off. I will say the special offense is lacking here is Braviary because offensive Blastoise is not real this gen.
Yeah.
And Braviary is a good one. I think it's a good one. It's really hard to switch into, but like it's not enough to carry.
Yeah, it kind of can't be your only special attacker, I don't think. And it's like literally the only. I think. Yeah, I wish offensive Blastoise was better. There are the matchups for it, but yeah, it's kind of fit. Yeah. But I think overall, this can handle just about anything other than ground types.
I agree. I really like this team. Let's move on to our top half.
I'm fond of this one.
Up to number 8, which is Austin aka Zanefried. So I am down 11 for you. I am up at 7. So
yes.
Why don't you start on this one?
Sounds good to me. Let me just let the image pop on screen so people know what we're talking about.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So, person's culture here with the Sneasel. This season, they say. I see you also got Crown, which I wanted to get. I'm not bitter. So I like this one a lot. Jokes aside, I am kind of a I think this one just kind of has pretty much anything it wants to. Like, you have really good walls. You have walls that don't pass up a lot of momentum. I'm kind of a believer in Snorlax, not Snorlax. Florges again. I've kind of gone with that. Like, you have Milotic and Mandibuzz. I love walls with pivoting. Skeletorch and Garganacl. Latios and Iron Crown, I think, are like. I like doubling up on Psychic to take out Dark types. I don't know. I just kind of look at this really good momentum, really good wall breaking, good utility. Like, you can wall pretty much anything you need to. I'm a big fan. Kind of the weaknesses for me, not really a weakness. I would really like a better spinner possible, but I understand, it's PDX. There's only so much you can do there. I don't really hold that against it. It would be nice to have, an upgrade over Crown, but it's not bad. And Mandibuzz is a very good hazard. Kind of like a pretty good hazard game here.
Yes,
Single does go kind of crazy. I think that's more of a that mon being irritating thing.
I just want to say to Acorn, I disagree. I think Dirge is crap. You say it's a good one. I think it's terrible, but that's just me.
A little iffy on Terraless Sandy Shocks, but I think it has its place. And, this team kind of pressures the things that
Yeah.
wall it pretty
I
effectively.
guess I can go into my
Am I still popping in and out, by the way?
Yeah, but it's fine. I outside Sneasor, this team really feels like it lacks power to me.
Ian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hang on, let me see.
Uh,
Hey, I'm just gonna DM Ian real quick.
one second, folks. 1 second, folks. We're gonna have Tengai leave and come back, and hopefully that will help.
Oh,
Can you hear me now? Tengai?
can you hear me now?
Tengai?
Still can't hear you, unfortunately.
Hey, Sarah, technical voice, everyone, give me a moment.
Hold on, everyone, hold on.
Hey, can you hear me now, Tenkai? Shit. Okay, can you hear me if I unplug everything? Crap. Give me a second. Alright, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Let me get everything plugged in. Okay, we are back. Sorry, we're technical difficulties, but we are back.
Sorry about that, guys. Remember, you have to be it has to be so over before you can be so back.
True. So outside of Rillaboom, this team really lacks top tier power, in my opinion. I'm not Rillaboom, Sneasor. Sneasor's like the only. I guess Laius is really falling off.
Yeah.
And like Rillaboom's your only real priorities, and Earthant really irks me. I don't like that's fine. Fair. I may could have ranked it a little higher, but I don't know. I fought the Moncoil where it was oh shoot. I'm really quiet now. Give me a second.
Oh, I can hear you fine. That's odd.
How do I sound now? How's my volume?
Chad, am I still cutting in and out a lot?
I don't think so. Can you guys hear me well?
Hopefully not.
Right, let me see what I can do. Go into OBS real quick. Oh, I see what happened. 1 second, I had the wrong. Nice. Okay, I had the wrong cool. Mic. Can you? How is my volume now? I had the wrong mic queued up. How am I now? I'm better. Cool. I accidentally forgot to switch my mic back. I'm an idiot. Okay. Anyway, back to Zanebree's team. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think Sneasor's kind of fallen off. And I don't know, just everyone.
Ian, I hate to say this, I once again can't hear you.
Fuck. God damn
it. Hello.
Once I have an idea.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank God.
Never mind. Okay, I was gonna try and adjust my Discord settings, and now Discord's lagging great. Let me share the screen.
Take your time.
God. Of course. There we go. I think this team was just giving us bad juju. Let's move on.
Yes, safer. We gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, this team is fine. Like, it's kind of meh, but it's fine. Hey, next up we have Grim, and this is the first one we had really different. I love this team. You hate this team. So let me get my notes. Yeah, I really like this team. So I'm a big Gren believer. I think Gren patch is really good because you get the spikes up. You can keep them up. Colossal's another great spiker. D-Knight seems like I can roll in offense, I will say, but Veil with D-Knight's really good. With opens up setup Mesprit. Trick Room Mesprit. I probably rank this kind of high now I'm thinking about it, but I think it synergizes really well. I don't know. In hindsight, I was kind of smoking something in ranking this so high, but I don't know. I think it's fine. It has a good game plan with the spikes and the spin blocking and the breaking and cleaning. His signature situation is not a real mon, but I know the rest of them are kind of real.
Oh, I wish it was. Why did they make it stats like that? Anyway,
I know, right?
I don't know. I kind of look at this team and I see like the start of several plans and then not really a follow through on them. Like Veil and like Ursaluna and Dragonite is good, but I just don't really see anything to follow up on that. Look, I kind of look at this and I'm like, if you don't break with Ursaluna and then clean with Dragonite or Gren, which is doable obviously, but I kind of don't see what it does after that. I just kind of see a lot of things that aren't that threatening. Petroth is good, but again, I think the things that you're going into are the exact same. It's like you have the 3 wall breakers, which I think are good, but not, like incredible, and that's kind of it. Then you have like blanket walls that aren't really pivoting into anything that great.
They have a really good point in the chat that Rachi and Mesprit overlap a ton, which is true. Yeah, I don't know why I put this so high looking back. Looking at this again a second time, I don't really like this much at all. I don't know what I was doing. But it's not the worst. It's just super linear.
Yeah, okay. Actually, okay, that's perfect. That's my main thing with it. It's like it feels like there's 3 ways of winning. It's really just one because it's like the same thing. I think what you do here is like you try to break early with Ursaluna, and then you either use Ninetales or Petron to pivot into Gren or Dragonite and hopefully win. And if you don't, there's just like nothing in the back. That's kind of my ultimate thing with this team.
I will say TGS brings up a good point. The triple healing wish is very funny. Triple healing wish. It is broken this gen, but I don't know if it's good. I don't know if healing wish is broken enough to justify that. As broken as it is.
The triple healing wish into Ursaluna is kind of the best thing I've ever seen.
I mean, triple healing wish into Dragonite getting its multi-scale back is kind of broken.
That is true. So yeah, keep the psychics. Like, and that's kind of my ultimate.
Most teams cannot take on a Dragonite 4 times in one game.
Very true. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Bringing back Ursaluna. So that's kind of my thing with this team. Definitely not bad. Like very clear game plan, but it's kind of so clear, and that's like what you can really do here.
It's gonna be pretty easy at prep where I agree. Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll move on to number 6, which is Zane. And there's another one where I really disliked it. You really liked it. So why don't you go into why you thought this was the best team?
Okay, so I really wanted to lower this one purely because I know the accusations I'm gonna get. But you gotta stand by the integrity of the PRs, and just look at this team. I just think it can do everything. First of all, stuck with a legendary theme because Arcanon's category is legendary, and in-game Swampert in Gen 3 is functionally a legendary. I just kind of look at this and I feel like there's really nothing this can't handle. I don't really see any like overwhelming type weakness.
Legend.
I think.
Wait for it.
Dairy.
Sorry, I had to do it. Anyway, moving on.
Very good. Yes, exactly, Matthew. Yeah, that's my thing. Like, everything here is good. The worst thing here is Articuno. Articuno is completely functional. I think objectively the biggest weakness here is no removal, but like, I was debating if I should lower it because of that, but here's my thing. I think it's like, there are the things in Draft League that like look good or bad in PRs, but then there's like functionality, and honestly, I think this team, like, it's not very Hazard Week, and I think you can just run boots on the things you need to. Like, I think it's mostly fine.
I will say, my biggest issue is the steel is dog shit. PDX Registeel is not the wave. This thing is so fucking bad.
That is true.
That's a big thing for me. I think steel's the most important. No spikes is kind of annoying for a team that's pivot heavy. For me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's definitely
Zane, what would I personally bring to beat this time? Again, I was busy ranking 112 drafts. I have not figured that out yet. we play week 1 for anyone who doesn't know.
No, that's true. It's definitely like little bits here and there, but I just think it's so functional.
That's
like,
fair.
I think this supports Darkrai so well.
I know, I might rank it a little low, but I don't know. A lot of these monsters are really mid to me. Also commits the cardinal sin of SV draft, which is no encore, so that's a thing. But
that is valid. There's some stuff here I think should get encore, so I'm gonna have to take it up Game Freak.
I think it's fine. I think this team is fine. I don't know. It just doesn't blow me away enough to be the top #1 team. Like, it's kind of middle for me. All the mons are solid except Registeel. Registeel's ass. Also Articuno, but like, none of them are amazing, except like maybe you could argue Darkrai, Rapidash are really good, but nothing else is like crazy. It just team feels so mid to me.
That's fair. I think for me, I kind of look at this team and I see something where every week you're putting together a team of 6 things that you genuinely want to bring, and your opponent has to factor all of them into their team building. And I think you can cover basically any weakness with it and find a way to win. And that's, for me, that's like what makes the optimal team.
That's fair.
I definitely do see what you're saying. This team really fits like my standard of like what I'm afraid of when prepping for. So like, take that for what you will.
Yeah, no spikes and removals. What I said was we brought that up earlier, GGS, but yeah. I will say double healing, which is cool. Again, move is broken. The momentum's good, as Gareth said, but I know. It just doesn't blow me away.
Next generation gives Sceptile spikes and poison heal. Anyway, on to the top 5.
Number 5. In this, we actually had a tie for 4th place. So, our first of the top 4, well, top 5, but tied for 4th, is Will at Will. Yeah. This team is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, pretty much actually, I'd argue every mon here is viable to come in every game. Like, there's nothing else. I am the biggest Corviknight here of all time, and round 3 Corviknight is disgusting, but, like, god damn, this team is good.
This is a good Corviknight draft.
I agree on that, even if I hate them on.
Really, really good removal, which with those top 2 is incredible.
Yeah, you need multiple removals if you're starting with Chiyu Bundle, that's for sure. I love the breaking here between Chiyu Bundle, even like Ogerpon, Lycanroc. Like, this team is breaking very well, and then whichever one of those, like Scarf Chiyu or Bundle or some sort of setup Kamo, there's a lot of like stuff that you can queen with. This team is fantastic.
Yep, I agreed.
Like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. This super offensive. Yeah, Corv is so bad. I didn't really see much of hate. I guess fairies kind of stay on this team. Like bulky fairies. Bulky fairies are kind of annoying, but
that's
minor nitpick.
Because Corv's not a real Pokemon, and like offensive Quillfish is also.
I just want to chip bringing offensive Quillfish in like half of the games I brought Quillfish, so I disagree on that.
Oh, really?
I brought it in finals even.
Oh, never mind, man. You're good.
Not Tenkai's a fake fan. He didn't watch the finals game and see me being the offensive Quillfish. Fake fan.
Finals. I didn't know the product had as often as you did.
I'm joking. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah.
I would say something I'm a huge fan of is this team threatens grasses really effectively. I think Sinistcha is really, really good here. I'm a huge Sinistcha believer. I think this mod is honestly annoying as fuck.
Yeah, I agree. Gareth, I honestly don't think it's that pressure because sure Donovan wants to spring, but even though Corviknight's a bad mon, it's a good mon on this team in my opinion, which is weird to say, but it fits really well here. It's the slow momentum of getting your breakers. It's really good at removing the hazards. Your breakers are so strong they don't even really need hazards to get the Okos like Chiyu, even like Bundle. The signs don't need the hazards.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Because this team, like, you have spikes, but like, Ogerpon's not going to spike that often. And I think honestly, Quillfish is Quillfish can come back in and step multiple times.
Yeah, for sure.
I think for me a big thing is with that top 2 and like how much the draft revolves around them. If it was just Corviknight and Donphan, I would agree that Donphan was like a little bit pressured. But I think with Hatterene on top of that, I think it's honestly fine.
I absolutely agree.
I really like this one. This is like when I was looking down a ranking, this is like the first of my list going up where I was like, okay, this is just like fully functional, like from top to bottom.
I really like how he supported the pieces. I think is the big thing. He just
Yes,
supported all the
agreed.
pieces really well. Gets in the offense. He's like, I don't know. This team's just great. Like, I don't see really many flaws with it, if any.
I think the biggest flaw I think is that you're depending on overheating hydro pump hitting, but you know that's kind of out of your
I mean,
hands.
Corviknight will just go defog to lower evasion and then U-turn into them, so you're fine.
You're a genius.
So let's go on to our fourth place team, which is Amber. It is another like really solid team. I don't think is as much of like everyone is bringable as Will's. Like I think some stuff like for a giraffe and more aren't really great, but the top 9 are all really solid.
Top heavy. I think okay. So first of all, I've fought her with Kokwala before. Fuck that. Fuck that. Yes, agree. I think this one, the backbone is so good.
It's so
And then you
fat. Oh
have
my
to-
god. It's so
fat.
fat. It's so
Like,
easy.
I think the biggest. Sorry, go ahead.
As Gareth was saying, it's so easy to wear things down to quack and serp range.
No, absolutely. I think the biggest criticism you could make here is that a little bit slow because you have fast Pokemon, but they're not like the most threatening. But I don't honestly think it's that big of a deal because you have such a good defensive backbone, and like I think Noivern is like
Fine.
functional for what you wanted to do
I
here.
absolutely agree.
You
The
know?
backbone it just seems to be so hard to kill.
The top 3 are just so good. Like the spin support with Gold Lou, that's like fantastic. It is definitely dependent on. I agree. It is definitely dependent on like some not quite as top tier Pokemon, but I honestly I think in this case it works. I think
I
it can be
agree.
a little dependent on a means where like if the function is like good enough, you know.
I don't necessarily agree that one bulky grass to check all of them because you still have other mons like Noivern and Mordecai Pressure. If they're also there are very few bulky grasses this gen. Like most of them are terrible. There's no like Tangrowth in the game. Like most of the bulky grasses are really bad. Like and Golden Go also sits on most grasses anyway and like abuses the fuck out of them by nasty potting. So like who cares? I think yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of an overcombo team, but overcombos are just good. And like, you know, that revolves in like Trailblazer predicting Noivern. I don't think it's too big of an issue, like all things considered.
Yeah, like this is like in my opinion like the epitome of a balanced team this gen, and I think it's done really well.
Yeah, fully agreed with that. I think she nailed it.
Heartflame sticks those notes to self. I mean, yeah, it actually kind of does. You're right, but hey, Teresa, you are very late. You were 13th. We probably should rank you a little higher, but yeah, that's a TODR. You can go back and find it. Let's move on to our top
indeed.
3, which
Top
is
3. Let's go.
starting with dashing. It is a really scary rain team, especially as someone who's not a big rain fan. Like, oh my god, this team is good.
I am a Rain fan degenerate, and I also really like this team.
Like, I do think you should have waited on the Pelipper, considering round. Well, actually, I guess you were before Acorn, so I guess theoretically Acorn. Well, I don't know. I don't. Maybe you should have taken it now, but Palafin or Chowdon Rain is very scary. Overclow Rain's really scary. Kilowattrel. I respect Excadrill and Rain a lot. I'm using that in WPF right now with Mega Lantern. Walking Week's kind of ass, but like it's fine. Rain, its surfs are gonna hit really fucking hard.
Yeah, I think Walking Wake does what it has to do here. It's kind of a nice disruptor, honestly. It is one of your main forms of knockoff, which is kind of funny. Like
Yeah,
I think it actually does have a pretty good function here.
Base dashing drafting Magmar again. I appreciate it for the meme. I appreciate it.
I also really like Arboliva here. I'm a big Arboliva believer.
I think it fits super well on the team. I agree.
Yeah, agreed. Because it's really like Honestly, Arch with grassy terrain is a little bit disgusting.
It very much is. This team is very well built. Honestly, it feels like it's almost built around our Chaladon more than Palafin. Is that crazy to say?
Yeah, no, I fully agree with that, honestly. It's like Palafin is kind of breaking for Archaludon, which I think is very
Or
solid.
vice versa.
I think
Like our
Archaludon is
Chaladon clicks
so
Electroshock
good.
over and over, it throws off a Draco, and then
Yep.
everything's in Jet Punch range.
Um, Little Fairy Week, Magmar's kind of the main resistance, but I think it's like mostly fine. 'Cause you can run like no, I shouldn't say Magmar's the main
You can
resistance.
run
I'm like
Bulky Drill.
underselling.
Bulky Drill's a thing.
I'm underselling Bulky Drill a little bit. I don't think it's like that big of a deal. And it's like, and then obviously resistance is I don't think are even like that important on a team like this because like look at the offense.
Gareth, I don't think it just came out. I'm pretty sure our challenge has been out for like a year and a half now. I don't think it's just come out. I think this thing's been out a while now.
Indigo Disc come out.
Yeah.
I think like I think like at its core, this is like you said, a draft built around Archaludon, and everything else makes it so what ground type is going to be safe here?
Nothing.
Yeah, just good. Theoretically, Clodsire, I guess, and like
It's definitely
yeah,
a bit
measures
of
for
a
that.
more unconventional rain team, but I think it works really well.
Yeah, I like it honestly. Like I think your main Swift swimmers being Overquill and Basket Legion, I think that's cool.
I think they're fine. Yeah, I really like Overquill in general.
Yeah, Overquill is very good. All the Quillfish is really just like
Yeah.
very, very solid.
In this gen especially.
So, yeah, good job.
Let's move
I
on
will
to...
say,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
one final thought. So, ordinarily, I do kind of think Kilowattra was like maybe the biggest letdown of all time, but I think on Rain, it's
fine.
probably pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay, with that, let's get on to number 2, which is Arcane Niner. You ended up saying I had down fit, but still pretty high.
Arcane Niner.
Yep. I realized the offense. I mean, Roaring Moon may seem kind of weird round 1, but I'm pretty sure this is the wheel. So Roaring Moon Iron Moth's not a terrible wheel.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's quite a solid wheel, to be honest with you.
I mean,
I think some people are kind of doubtful of non-Terra Moon. I still think it's very good. I think
with Iron Moth to kill every fairy in the game, it's pretty good.
yeah, exactly. And like Saraledge in the back. I also think people in the draft community are like they're moving away from only understanding Dragon Dance Moon, and I think that's huge. I think it's a great just general offensive pivot mon
Absolutely.
too.
Or just clicking Bandit Knockoff with that attack stat is really fucking good.
Yeah, true. I think like a little bit special week maybe, but I mean not necessarily. I think maybe more ice week than anything else. But like Moth and it's like sustainable enough. Sarah just sustainable enough.
Empoleon's an amazing ice switch. What are you talking about? Empoleon's amazing.
Yeah. I think
the one thing is I wish you had a spinner. Because that way you could keep up Gliscor's hazards, which would have been nice. Your only removal is Conk, which isn't ideal for Moth. Like, obviously you want better removal for your Moth, but... So I can run Booster and Specs and Scarf, It's not terrible. That's like my one big nitpick. That's why I had it down 5, is I think the Raccoon removal is a big problem. But other than that, this team's fantastic.
No, agreed. And these things like running boots anyway, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. It is really, really funny that they cut defog from like every bird but kept on Kelter.
That's really funny, yeah.
But no, I agree. I think just like very solid across the board. Good pivoting, which I think is huge in this gen. And again, yeah, not really any like super exploitable weaknesses. I think the final Hydrapple pick is really, really nice. I like Hydrapple and Gliscor. If you have good ice resistance like they do, I think those two pair so well together.
I agree. Like Gliscor and Empoleon Hydrapple's a really solid core.
Fully agreed. And I think this is like a really good. I like Raikou a lot here too. Kind of like.
I mean, it kind of sucks, but like you do have like Azumarill and Hydrapple to pressure the grounds. Vaulting into Moon or a Moth on grass is really good. Like it's fine.
That's my thing. I'm like, oh my god, that'd be incredible.
Gareth, Hydrapple's already broken. We do not need it to have momentum.
that's my thing. I usually think of Raikkone's like, pretty mid. I think a lot of us do. But like this team pressures grounds really well.
It does.
Glisco and Hydraulic combined just sit on so many of them.
Yeah.
A jetpack, true.
That's actually very common item is Draco Meteor, a jetpack Hydra is very common, yeah.
So I fully agree. I think Strats is really, really good. It's just like solid from other than a removal perspective, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I really like this one. So I guess we'll move on to our number one. He's in chat. He knows it's him because he hasn't been up yet. It's DJS and what the fuck? How did this happen? How did this happen? How did this happen? I don't know what to say. This team is insane.
Yeah, I think I put this one like low if anything, and I put it very high.
I had this at number one. I don't think it was close. I don't think I even came close to this. This is just disgusting. Every mon does so much. There's so much offense, so much bulk, so much removal, so much hazard setting, so
much bulk.
It's just so good in every regard.
I'll be honest. If I had to prep for this, I might just quit the league.
I don't know what to say. Like, we can just compliment this all day. I legitimately do not know what to say bad about it. We can just sit there and compliment this all day.
Just pointing out all the stupid shit here. First of all, Diancie is bullshit. That is like the most underrated mod in existence. I fucking hate that thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's really good. Mad about the snipe. Yeah, never mind.
I think. Oh my god! It's like there's just not really a lot to criticize. I mean, like maybe you could say there's not really like a elite speed tier mon that does like a lot of damage, but I mean I don't know. I think that's fine for the most part. It
seems so fat it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like Cyclozar's like functional, you know.
Cyclozar's Draco Meteors are not free to switch into.
Yeah, oh, that's the thing. It's like if you're not like when you don't have to be focused on just like the like Shentel sets. It's like
Shentel's run like but
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like when you don't even have the option of that, and like you have to run other things on it anyway. Like you can run like Draco Meteor and Double Edge and stuff like that. Like you can get offensive value out of it.
Yeah, it's this seems just insane. I pretty sure it's on my schedule. I'm not happy about that.
Oh god. No, this one is crazy. Good, very good job.
Great job, DJS, as always, drafting an insane team. Hey, and with that, I guess we're gonna call it for the night. There are 4 divisions will happen later this week. I don't know exactly when. I'm going to talk to all the co-hosts to reschedule those. So I'll look forward to those at some point between Tuesday and Sunday. With that, we're gonna call it. Have a great night, everyone.
Have a great night, everyone. Thank you for watching.
I'll see you later.